Hi, this is Susan Blue Robot from susanbluerobot.com. I'm here today with another card making or project making video. This time I'm going to use the same idea of the pop-up in a box that I did the baby on the last project, and I'm going to do the 5-sided one this time. It's more or less exactly the same way, except for because the triangles only have 3 sides and not the 4 sides like the baby box did, that you have to slightly alter things and change things. So I thought I'd do that so people can work out what they've got to do. So we'll get started. I'm using Make the Cut plus Make the Cuts Pop-Up Card Studio. And here's the box that I'm going to be making. It's 5-sided, which means these triangles in the center, the angle is 72 degrees. And it only has the 3 sides, unlike the baby box, which had the 4 sides. So you'll get an idea of why I have to do a little bit of tweaking. And here is the box pop-up when it's opened. I used 4 sheets of cardstock for this. It doesn't fold flat. The tops are all glued with tabs and the bottoms are all glued with tabs, so it's a solid box, unlike the one that inspired me to make these. Her one, you could undo the top and undo the bottom and fold it completely flat if you wanted to. So we shall get started. There's another view of it, and this lettering is the same as I did on the previous ones, with the octagon with the lettering inside. Recommended that only use a solid font for these. I did a fancy computer font on one that I've just built, and I'm not going to show that because it's going to end up in the rubbish bin because it was unable to be seen. So remember that this one here, you can see how I made this on my blog in the blog lessons. And we'll get started. We bring in a new project of 5 inches high and 5 inches in width. Okay, and we want that on a plane of 4 inches. Now what we have to do is we give ourselves, we want it on a 1/2 inch snapping, and 2-point rec PCS tool. We go click there and click 1 inch from up the top, click there, and that's the start of your first piece. Now we go spacebar, click here and click there. Now we go spacebar and we're back on this plane here. So what we'll do is go on 2-inch plane, and we'll bring the transparency down, and we pan around. We've got to go from 2 inches up. That's why we've got zoomed in, so we can transparency, so we can see where the 2 inches are on our grid lines. We go click there and click there. Hit the space bar, Control Shift and roll down to that plane. We roll down to that and we go click there and click out to the 1 inch mark here. There we have the same as the starting that we had with the baby box. Please watch the baby box first. if you haven't watched that, pause this video and go and watch the baby box first, so you'll get more of an idea of what I'm doing. Now, the reason we need the 2 inches here is this is the side view of the baby box. Now this one's okay because you're going to have the other 2 sides of the baby box here and here, and these become the tabs. But if I was to build it exactly like the baby box, to do 5-sided, which is 5-pointed, which is 3 sides, if I was to draw a line from here to here, this pop-up will be in the way. So on the one we are building, if I pan around here, we have a line from here to here. It's no longer in the way. That's the reason why I'm doing a second video and not just letting you all go and go, okay, we'll use Susan's idea and of the baby box, and you'll run into trouble when thing. So it's the extra 1 inch here that allows for the line to go, the back of the card to go across here. Bear in mind, this won't be 45 as it is here. It'll be folded into 72 degrees instead of the normal 40. Oh, instead of a normal 90 degrees. So we will go back to normal. So this is where we left off before I started explaining all that. Now what we do is I'm going to just do a single letter in here instead of doing the lettering that I did on this, because the reason being is you can see how I did this lettering on the baby box, and it's exactly the same way. But to make this easier and show you that you can just put lettering in, I'm just going to do it on this now. Right, now we'll go to the back plane, and we'll go, that's on a plane of 4, we will go, I go 3.5. And then we're going to put the lettering on here. 3.5, which will make it, that makes it 1.5 inch from the back. So that's what we work on, 1.5 inch from this part here. So we bring that around, push my panic button. I call this my panic button. That just restores it back into the proper view. Now what I do is I bring in a lettering, and we'll bring in the letter H. Enter, and I flip that, rotate that to 90 degrees. I want that of a height of 3 inches now. So we go over here and we go with the lock on. I go a height of 3 inches and enter. Remember to enter, otherwise it will not register that. Now I have this hovered above this plane here because this is the plane I want it to join to. Go in the center and down to that plane. And what I do now is with that selected, I just go fold back. It will fold back to that plane except, and then what I have now is the first of the letters. These ones here, they become the tabs to join things, to join each one together in pop-up cut and make the cut. And we have the lettering. This will be folded at an angle of about that, which makes that 72 degrees-ish. And that's how it will look. So now what we have is that we save that as H. Well, no, we don't want to cut it. we want to save it. And we go, this is the letter H, enter. We export that as, render that, project render as SVG, because this, unlike a lot of things, is not really something you can cut straight from Pop-Up Card Studio. And we go save. Then what we'll do is we'll do undo. We'll leave that there, sitting there like that. We'll go save as, save the project as a capital E, and we'll bring in the letter E. Bring in the letter E, add, select that E, go rotate, 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 over here and resize it to 3 inches high, and then we bring that in and we go, we tweak that with these arrow keys. Let's take the snapping off because we're not having much luck. Right, now it's the same size as the H or thereabouts. We then throw away the H. We go cut that, and with this one, now I just noticed something on the E. The bottom of the E is out higher than the top part of the E. Now that explains a lot, because when I'd done my box I had to join this E after it had been done. Well, this explains why. Here's what we'll do. We'll do an exclusive crop on this. Then we'll make sure that that is 3 inches high again. 3 inches high. And we'll bring this up higher than this plane that we want it to lock to. We go in the center and down to the next plane. And we go fold back, accept, save, export, project render, render as SVG, capital E, yes. Then we go, when that's done that, we go undo, we go save as. Now I do undo so I don't have to go to the top plane to get that top of the E. It's back to where I can just get it easier. Now we go capital L, save, we bring in the letter L, capital L, add, select tool, we only want to select that L, we do a rotate of that, 1, 2, 3, and we want that as a height of 3 inches and enter. Then we'll bring that over, and we have to tweak with the arrows to make it the same size as roughly the same size as the E. And we throw away that E. We go cut. Now we select the L, make sure it's in the center, and down to that plane. And then all we do is fold back, accept, save, and export project render, save as SVG. And we go yes, we want to save it as L. Now we'll use this L twice in our project when we're building it. We go undo, save as, O. Capital O, so I can see what I'm doing. Save. And we bring in the letter O. O. Add. Select tool. Just select just that one. Do a rotate 90 degrees. We want to crop both the. Now move that over here, because we would have cropped some of that L as well. Crop some of the top, so we've got a straight line, and some of the bottom, so we've got a straight line there for anchorage. We want that as a height of 3. Now we got this 3 because it's a 1/2 inch back, 1.5 inches back from the last plane that we want it to bend back to. You put that in place, tweak it till it's about the size you want, and we throw away the L. Now I do that so you don't have to start from scratch again, and it makes it a lot quicker and easier to make. That's the benefit of Pop-Up Card Studio. You can use the one pattern and tweak it and save it as something else, and it's all made for you really. In the center and down to that plane, fold back, accept, save, and then export, save project as save as SVG, I mean, and you go, oh yes. Now what we've done is we've now made all those ones, and we're taking it over to make the cut now, or whatever program you are using. I only use Make the Cut nowadays, so I can't give lessons on how you then join them together in other programs, but you can watch this and you can adapt it to whatever program you're using. So what we do now is we've got a new project. We bring in the SVG, we bring in the H first, we rotate that, we bring in, these are all going to be too big unless you want to make a big one, but as you've known if you've watched me baby one, that I always design big and then I tweak the size in here so it fits my cardstock. Say open SVG, E, and I turn that. Well, that was silly. I turned it too many times. E. Now we bring in double L. And we bring in another L. Turn that. Now I'm turning them so they're visually able to see this way. If you like to work up and down, leave them and just add them up like that. Now I need to bring in an O. No, I don't need an L, I need an O. Okay, we will zoom out with that O, with that whole O selected. We will flip that. Right, so what we have is our 5 pieces, as well as in a couple of minutes we're going to have one part of the backing. Unlike the last lesson, I could use one of these for the backing, but because it's 3, you can't do that. 3-sided, you can't do that. Okay, now to the seam as you've seen before is is now we have to join the H and the E together, the double L together, and then I'll be joining the O with some of the backs. So what we do is we work out we're going to have this tab here, from this one here up to this first score line, is going to be the tab that joins the back to the front letters. Then we're going to leave this tab on and take this tab off because we're going to join this in the program for cutting to save this gluing to here. Of course, if you're going to be doing this size a hello box, well, you'll have to do them just all separately and take one end off each of them. But in this purpose, I'm only going to make a small one, and I'm going to go through the process of this. So I'm going to bring in the node tool. I'm going to hold it, select that line, delete, select this line, delete, select this line, delete, select this line, delete. Now what you need to do is this joins up to this. Well, while we're in node editing, we need to take this tab off because this one is going to glue onto this side. So we take this one off, select delete, select delete, select delete. And the same here. This one here is going to be joined with this program onto this one. So we can take this one off, this one off, and this one off. Of course, you take away your score lines as well, because the score lines will be on the last one. So the score lines are already here on this. And the same as with the O, is you select here, delete, select here, delete, select here, delete, and select here and delete. So here's where we are. We're now going to get the pencil tool. Now I find this easier than breaking nodes and joining nodes up. You just get the pencil tool and join these back to solidness. Whoa, that one didn't work. Hold your control key down. When it turns around dotted, it's ready. Okie doke. Right, now what you do is you select your E with the score lines, move it into position, and select your L, move that into position, overlapping where you'd be gluing if it was cut really big. And what we need before we do any alterations of size is we need to bring in, okay, what I'll bring in is another O, rotate that, and we just bring that in for the moment. Sorry, didn't work this bit out. Okay. Now we select the cut lines of the E, hold the Shift key down, click on the cut lines of the H, and we do a weld. We click on the cut lines of the L and the cut lines of the second L, holding the Shift key down, and we do a weld. Now we'll pan out. Now the next idea is we select all of them, just move them away from the other for the moment so I can see. Now I want to select all of these, everything, and I'm going to, with the arrow keys, I'm going to take it down to about the size we need. See, the biggest thing is the HE, and we want to make sure that that fits on our cardstock paper. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit. What I want to do is I want to make this here 5 inches. That will make from here, this score line here, to this score line here, I want to make that exactly 5 inches. Now I use the mat. Oh, I think it is exactly 5 inches. Yes. So if it wasn't, I would just I line this score line up with this inch mark, and I want to make this. So that makes it so from the fold line that joins up to the next tab to the very center, it makes it 2.5 inches. I do that because my maths was not very good when I come to working out how big I had to have my triangle, and I sort of cheated, so I will explain this. What I did, the people out there that know maths really well will be scratching their head and going, are you crazy? There's a formula for working that out. Well, yes, I'm crazy because I did not remember the formula, and at the time my husband was sleeping, and so I got a protractor and I worked on it that way. So here we go. You'll know how crazy I am at times. So we now know that that is 5 inches from that fold line to that fold line. So it's 2.5 from there to there, and 2.5 from there to there. Now, what I then did was I got my protractor, drew a line that was 2.5 inches out, and then I put my protractor on it, and I did a 72%. What I'll do is I did a 72% line from that and took that out to 2.5 inches, and I did the same thing all the way around, and I ended up with a 5-sided with lines going out to the edge. Then I joined each of those very outside edges up from edge to edge. Then what I did was I then measured how long that edge was from that side to this side, and from this side to that side, and from this side to that side. And so that's how I ended up with 2 15/16 of an inch. So we'll make a note of that. If you do yours at 2.5, well, I've just worked it out for you. But at least that gives you an idea that you don't need the maths formula to work it out. Though I will go and get my book out and work it out one day. And so here we are. We're back at here. Now what we want to do is we want to select this one, go to each its own. We will break that apart, and we'll break this one apart. Because what we do need, we need to select all them, go delete. We need to break this apart, or just layer this. We'll do a layer of this, because all we need is that outside one. And we go delete that. Now, what we need, I do it this way, to save working it all out. Yes, I'm lazy. Now, that square there, what I want is that I want that to be 2 15/16 of an inch. So, in here with the lock on, I highlight this and go 2 space 15 / 16, enter. And now that gives me the right measurements, which is 2.9375. So what we're going to do here is we're now going to select these two. Select that, and you hold the control key down and cursor that in to so it's up against that there. Then you select this node tool, hold the cursor key down and do the same thing till we give you that looks like that. Now we can throw away this temporary square. That was only so we could make sure that it was the right size. We go cut that, and we noted it, and we go break that, delete that. We noted it here. And we now, I don't know what I'm doing here. Delete that. Select this whole thing. Oh, we're going to the select tool, and we select this, and we go fuse and weld, and we know that that's now the back. So that becomes the back. So what we need is 5 of them. Now first off, with the select tool, we're going to select this O and bring this in here. Then that gives us an idea of what we need. So this gets joined, this whole section gets joined to here. So we didn't have a tab on this side. This whole section here gets joined to here, so we didn't have a tab on this side because it gets joined to here with glue. So now what we need is we need one of these to join onto here in the program. So we will take off, what I might do, because this tab's not the right size, so we're going to node edit this side. Throw away this side, this side, this side, this side, and we're going to pencil tool that. Hold the control key down, pencil that in. Whoa. And we'll just tweak that back out because I did put the node terribly in. Okay, so when we go to the select tool, we might break that apart because I've got a little dot here for some reason. We'll just throw that away. Okay, so now we're back at normal. That's just to show you that you can fix it. Right, so we need one of these here. We overlap that by the tab. We also need another 4 of these. So select that, hold the shift key down, select that, and we hold the control shift and we need another lot of them. Hold the Control Shift and we have that. So we select the cut part of this one, hold the Shift key down, select the cut part of this one, and we go Weld. So now we have all those pieces, this now starting the back. Now what we do is we hold the cut part of this one and the cut part of this one down, and we go Weld. So now when this gets cut and this one gets cut, it gets glued onto here. We need another lot of this, and when we have to take this end off for this one because that tab's already there on the H where it joins around in a circle. So we'll select all of them with their. Now just wondering, sadly it won't fit on the one sheet of card. Okay. We hold the Control Shift and get a second one of them. So now we've got our 5 pieces for our back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our HELLO. All we need now is our tabs and our triangles. So what we do for that is we go to a new project. I want to bring in a line that's perfectly straight. Let's go to the snapping of 1/2 inch. And we bring in another line that's perfectly straight. Go back to the select tool, take this off the snapping again. Right, we want this line here to be 2 and 15 /16th. Enter. And we want these ones to be 2.5 inches, and they are. So we want another one of them, hold the Control Shift, and we put that down. Now, I want to put this one in the center. On that line. Now I want to put this one on the same line, and I want them to be aligned to the left. Okay, I want this one to be aligned with this bigger one, holding the Shift key down, on the right. And then I want them all to be aligned at the bottom. I'm a bit concerned now I've done this all wrong. No, okay. Now I select the smaller one on this side, turn the handles, no, on this side. Turn the handles by clicking on it again, and I hold the Shift key down and select this upper topmost. Holding the Shift key down and selecting the upper topmost arrow, I'm pivoting on this arrow here. So what I need to do is make sure this is back in the center, the whole lot. Right, select this smaller one on this side. Hold the Shift key down and pivot on that uppermost arrow. So that is now taking it up. And I want that to pivot up to, so this is vertical with this one here, this cross here. Not this cross on the outer, because that's the cross from the smaller one on this side. So then we select that one on this side. We hold the Shift key down, and now we want to pivot on this lowermost corner. I'll show you what I mean by that. Pretending this was what we had. At the moment we've just got lines and you're probably scratching your head going, what's she talking about? Now, if I wanted to turn that automatically, it's pivoting in the middle. But I don't want to do that. I want to pivot that line so it's staying in place here and it's pivoting on that place there. So if I hold the shift key down and the opposite arrow to where I want it to pivot on, and then I go lift that, it's not moving from here. It's remaining there. Of course, until I let it go, and then it moved. Right, so what we're doing is we're getting this one now to pivot on this lower most, so we go the opposite, which is this one. We take that up till they join in the middle. Tweak this one down, shift key, and there we have our triangle. This side's 2.5, this side's 2.5, and this side here is 2.9375. So we select all of them and we do a join, then a fuse and weld, apply. Now, yes, I know there's ways to get the triangles with mathematics right like that, but this is the way I did it, even with the bit of paper and the protractor. So we know this is the lowermost side, which is the longer. First off, we'll get a copy of that. Then we'll take this one, we'll do a copy of that, and we'll come over here, and what we need to do is paste that piece there. We need one up the top here. Duplicate that. Duplicate by 2 across, then no down, and no spacing. Apply. We move them into place. I don't know, I must have been a little bit out, so no, don't do that. Don't ever do that. 1, 2. I must have been a little bit out, so we take it up and we'll bring back this triangle back when we do the other bit. Okay, now what we do is we need a copy of that. We need a copy of that, but we need to make sure it's in the right place. We just make sure that that's just slightly over. We do a copy, paste, flip, and hold the control key and the arrow keys, arrow that down. Okay, so we hold the shift and we go copy of that, copy, paste in place, and we need to take that we just copied and pasted and join it to that one. So I'll tell you what we'll do before we unclick from that, because it's hanging over the other one. We'll do a join of that, and then we'll join it to the cutting part of this one, not the score lines. Hopefully we'll go Weld. I'm not quite right, okay. Undo, undo. These top ones. That one there, that one there. You need to come down ever so slightly, and we'll see if that works. Join. I'm so out. we'll go weld. I'll hold the shift key, select that, go weld. Okay, now what we need is a copy of that one and a copy of that one. We go copy, paste in place, and we're going to take that over to this one over here. Remember to do this before you go cutting. I did my first baby one. I didn't have enough lids or bottoms. So select that, select the cut part by holding the shift key down, do a weld, that one worked, select this one, do a weld, that one worked, and we go back up to here, select this and this and this one, do a weld, and I'm pretty sure that I need to bring these down, but I'll try one. Do a weld. See, I did. Okay, but I wanted to try it first. Okay, this one and this one. Hold the shift key down, select just the cut section, do a weld, and that's fine. Okay, now what we have is we have those points. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select there. I'm going to select these score lines, put them on their own layer. I'm going to select this, put that on its own layer, and this becomes one. This one here and this one here starts to become the section. So we're going to double click on this and go back O1, and this is the score lines for back O1, back O1. Right, with this one selected, now I bring in the pencil tool, remembering this back O1 is selected, the score lines, and we put that on there. And we do a line for here, but that's the score lines for both the back and the top. Okay, now what we do is we now just pick both of them up, put them on our mat where we would be cutting them, anywhere, it's up to you. I work on this bottom right hand corner, and we go close that, move that to bottom, move this one to the bottom by right clicking and go move to bottom. Now they're both closed, they're gone. Okay, now what I want to do, select these two, select the score lines for this, put that on its own layer, select this one, put that on its own layer, and we go back O2 and double clicking on here, back O2, and we go with that back O2 score lines, we give them, hold the control key down, we give them the score lines for across the top and across the bottom. Take your time, zoom in, check that you're doing it right. Then what we do is we select all of them, put them on the mat where you would be having them, click off the eyes off, you go move to the bottom and move to the bottom. So they're now out the way, they're finished, complete, done and dusted. Okay, now what we do is we now need the tabs for the other pieces. So what we do now is we go back here, and the tabs we need for them is this one here and this side here, not this side down here. So what we need to do is we need to cut this. We need to cut this down here. So that's now in half. Go back to the select tool. With that one selected, just go out 3 times. We'll bring it back in 3 times, but I wanted them separate. So we join that back into a smaller triangle, and this one back into a smaller triangle. So we've got the 2 bits. Now with this side selected, we're going to take it back in the 3 on our mouse, on our keyboard. Okay, so now we've got to pivot this one. Holding the shift key down, we want to pivot on this side so it remains right there. So we pivot there and take it up flush. And we select this one and we want to pivot on here. So we hold the shift key down and go to the diagonal. We want to take these up. So now these lines are straightish, well, straight as I can get them at this point in time. I have to zoom in and get them better. Right, select them both, align to top, and there we have our tags, our tabs. Now we want them to be joined here in the middle. So first off, we're going to get the eraser tool, the reverse eraser. Let's do 1/2 inch. And we go OK, accept. Then we want to break that apart, and we want to throw this part away, throw this away, and this is the piece we need. Okay, so we go cut that, copy that, take it across here. Now what we're going to do, zoom in, and we put this in position. So the center of that is at the score line. What I also might do is just give myself a cheater. Okay, so hold the control key down. That should be 5 inches wide. And I'm going to join that on there. Hold the shift key, that there, go weld that. Okay, throw this one away. And throw this one away. Now I've got that little bit to overlap. So we go back to here. What we're doing is we set that up where we want it. Go right click, duplicate. We want 2 of them. We go accept. Apply. Now we want to copy that. We don't want to copy. We want to copy that, and then we could paste in place, flip, and control arrow key it up. Tweak it up near the top and just tweak it into position. And we want a copy of that one and that one. Go copy, pan out, go paste in place, pick up the one we just pasted, and we put that one in place here. We want to copy this one and this one. We go copy, paste in place, and we put that one over here. Now with that selected, we select the cut lines of this one, and we go weld. Then you'll put your score lines in here and here. We will put that one on its own layer, select the score lines, put them on their own layer. With that score line selected, we then use the what I did is I made a mistake. I put this triangle here, but I needed to move this triangle up here. It means going back and getting a new triangle. I'll continue on. This triangle, I will let you know that I've put in the wrong place. It's meant to be up here. So we get our score lines. They would have come from here, over to here, here, over to here. And I'll fix that one. And then we put both of them in position on our mat where we'd want them, pretending that I've fixed this one. Then what we do is we call this O and back, enter, double click on this, O and back, enter, close that, send to bottom, send to bottom. Clean up again with the rubbish bin. And now what we do, select this one, hold the shift to select this one, the cut line of this, the cut, and we do a weld. Then we select all its score lines, we put them on its own layer all together, and we select the cut line of that one, put that on its own layer. We call this L, enter, L, enter. With this one selected, we get the pencil tool, and we hold the control key down and give us our line up the top here, and our line down the bottom here. The score lines, making sure it's on the score line layer, and that's that one. So then we can close this, go back to the select tool, send that one to the bottom, send this one to the bottom. Now all we're left with is this one, so we join this, holding the shift, this, and this, plus the cut line of this. We go weld, send it to its own layer, so they're all together. Then we select all its score lines, send them to their own layer, because at the moment they were on 2 layers. And with that selected, we get the pencil tool, and we hold the control key down, hover over that, and we do the score lines for that. And we call that HE, and enter. Now what you have is all your pieces ready to cut. Of course you will have this one here. You won't have yours looking like this. You'll have this triangle over here. in the right position. Now, once again, you join all pieces in a row. You join the double L up, glue up on this one, then you join this bit to the double L, and you join the backs on, and then you take the back all the way around the last one and join and glue to this one. Then you start building the tops. It's a lot easier from trial and error, and how many I've made of these, even if they've been mistake ones, and you'll learn by my mistake. This has been Susan Blue Robot at susanbluerobot.com. I hope you've enjoyed this long, intensive lesson on how to make this hello box or whatever other 5-letter word you want to put in it. Of course, if you want to do this shaping of wording, you'll have to watch the baby pop up in a box lesson. It'll explain all that. This one was just a simpler one. And I'm going to say bye for now. Don't forget, if you want to buy Make the Cut or Pop-Up Card Studio, if you follow links from my blog, it will help support my blog. This is a good example of supporting my blog. I've now got editing on my videos, so I can have them longer and not part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. It's now a lot easier. So that's what the support to my blog is going towards. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.